This episode of Fantastic People is sponsored by Kinetic Realty Services. Kinetic Realty Services exists to help you find home. Their agents understand that home is more than an address. Home is where life happens. It's a place where we experience joy and pain. It's a place where we make memories and build community. Their agents see more than a transaction or a file number. They see the person or family that home represents. Kinetic Realty Services executive sales agents manage the home buying or selling process with care. Kinetic Realty Services strives to provide timely communication, technical excellence, and tailored information for each customer and each home, making sure that from search to close, your home transaction is joyful and professional. Start your home buying or selling process today at kineticrs.com/info. Again, that's kineticrs.com/info. Licensed in Florida and Alabama, Kinetic Realty Services, helping real estate investors find success and helping individuals and families find home.
Welcome back to Fantastic People. I'm your host, Christian.
And I'm Regan. And here with us today is a very special guest, all the way from Pensacola, Florida, is Hunter Moore. Hunter is the guitar player for Scream Out Loud and also another band, Brave New World, and also does some work here locally. Hunter, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. No pun intended.
Hey, I see what you did there.
Play on words.
No, I'm doing good. Feeling good. Just really taking as much time as I can to work on music during these hard times and all this extra time that we have. I also picked up a job, so I'm working a lot, and that's pretty much just my life right now, work and music.
Hunter, tell me a little bit about. I'm a musician. Tell me a little bit about what you play and what styles and what you're doing.
Well, I play guitar. When I was younger in like high school and stuff, I played saxophone, but I don't know how to play that anymore. I bought one a couple.
At least you're honest about.
Yeah, I bought one a couple years ago. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get back into saxophone, and because it sounds cool, and I can toot the horn and stuff. But yeah, I picked it up maybe once or twice just to prove that I could still make a sound with it, and I put it back down. But yeah, I play guitar and Scream Out Loud and Brave New World. Yeah, I play guitar.
And you also have I didn't mention this a second ago, but there's another really special project that you're a part of. Tell us about that.
Oh yeah. So I do this little side thing, in my free time when I got a little time to work on something by myself with he was 6 when we started, but my 7-year-old nephew, his name's Hunter also. So the name of the project is Hunter Rules with a Z at the end of it.
Dope.
That's awesome.
So it's just like a straight metal band. I just write the most metal stuff I can think of, and I get him to scream lyrics of stuff that he likes into my
That's
iPhone,
awesome.
and then
So it's like trucks and blocks and
Power Rangers.
Power
what
Rangers
was the 7-year-old into?
Yeah. Well, maybe when we were 7, Power Rangers.
Yeah. I don't know.
But no, the first song that we released, it's on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, all that. It's called I Play Minecraft. He really likes to play Minecraft.
Okay.
That's dope. I'm gonna look that up right after
I'm
we
definitely
finish.
checking that out. And everybody else, all 3 of you should as well. No, but that's cool. So, growing up, you grew up in Pensacola, went to Milton High School, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So did you move out to Milton, or that's kind of where you grew up, is in the Milton area, or?
Well, I was born and raised in the Pensacola-ish area, so I've always been around this area. Before I moved out to Milton, I was living in like Pensacola, Inslee, Cantonment, and then I moved from Cantonment to Milton, and that was in the 4th grade. So I went all the way up through grade school to graduate high school at Milton High School, and then so just pretty much in this area, never really left except for with the band and everything else that I do.
Yeah, so I do want to ask about that. So I have been a touring musician before, but that was like a decade ago.
Hmm.
And how has the pandemic affected, and what are some things that have changed for you? And are any of those changes, do you think, permanent, or what is it like being a musician in this time?
It sucks. No, but,
Yeah.
I mean, as far as, like, time to, like, actually hone your craft and get new music and work on social media and stuff, the pandemic's been, you know, it's giving you time to do all those things. Before the pandemic, we were able to go on the road and tour and play shows and, you know, we could go out of town and do it. We could do it at the Vinyl. But now with once that hit, all that shut down. I mean, there are bands out there playing and doing that stuff right now. We prefer to just wait it out and see, when it's actually safe to get out there and do that. So yeah, we just been focusing on music and all that, writing and recording and new songs and releasing and social media, etc. That's just where the
How
pandemic's put it for us.
Yeah.
Hmm.
How have your fans responded to that? Have they, I mean, some of the things I know you got to keep up a presence in order to stay relevant with them. Have they engaged in that?
Well, Brave New World is probably the most active band I'm in. We do a lot with social media and releases and stuff. We get a lot of great responses. We're still doing. I mentioned it in the thing. I know y'all haven't got to this yet, but we do an Instagram live series once a week. It's called Catching Up With, and it's me and the drummer that mostly do it. Sometimes it's other members depending on what schedules are like. But we it's kind of like y'all get together and meet new people and talk about new things and interesting things, and we just
That's awesome.
invite other bands onto our podcast, that are up and coming and working on stuff like us, and we just kind of give our fans and their fans a glimpse of what everyone's working on as far as Brave New World and the band we have on.
So, uh, we always, we're here to talk to people about fans of things. So, Hunter, what are you a fan of? What is it that we're here to talk about today?
Rocket League.
That pause really built the
Yeah,
suspense
I,
there.
I know
suspense.
I was trying to give it some suspense.
I have to be honest with you. My brother plays this.
uh
I have never played it, so I need you to tell me what the point is. How does it work? What is Rocket League?
All right. So I've always been into before I got into Rocket League about 4 years ago, I was always into first person shooter games. Um just Call of Duty all the time, Halo before that, just constantly doing that. I just got tired of the same old game regurgitated and I needed something a little more skill based and something gratifying because you just get shot in the back too many times in those first person shooters. So I hate that. I hate spending all the time to do something and get shot in the back. So with Rocket League, it's basically rocket powered cars in an arena playing soccer. That's just the
What
base.
a great combo of words.
Yeah.
Yeah, rocket powered cars in an arena playing soccer. So you can fly through the air. It's got boost. The boost is what you use to fly through the air, but it's very competitive. You get 5 minutes on the clock. It can be teams of, it can be 1v1, 2v2, 3v3. They even have a 4v4 called Chaos. There's other extra modes where you can get like power ups every 10 seconds. Like a grappling hook or like super like punch, all sorts of stuff on there that you can do in Rumble. But it's just very competitive. You get 5 minutes to, if you win, you win. If you lose, you lose. And it's skill based, and I can't really explain. But when I first started playing Rocket League, the adrenaline that you get from you know, like playing and scoring and like flying through the air, and I've just never found a game that gives me that much, adrenaline and fun on a constant basis. I don't get tired of it.
Yeah. Now that's interesting. I like Christian. I've heard of it, never played it.
Hmm.
Um, and when I was like, all right, let me look this up. I almost tried to download it and give it a shot. And I'm glad I didn't because I would have gotten really frustrated pretty quickly and given up. But I looked up a YouTube video,
Mhm.
and if I can find it again, maybe we'll give the guy credit in our description, and we'll link it for everybody to go check it out. I thought it was a pretty good overview. It was like 52 or 62 tips for Rocket League for beginners. And as I'm watching this, I was like, wow, this is, I mean, it looked really
Yeah.
entertaining.
There's a lot going on the screen.
Visually,
Visually, it's
technically, the whole thing. And it's funny you mentioned Halo, because it made me think back to my Halo days, where you're playing on a team of 4
there is
or
kind of an
3
even
or 2.
aesthetic to it that
Yeah,
feels
similar
Halo-esque.
aesthetic.
Yeah.
And but it's that team play arena style that that is fun. It's exhilarating,
Mhm.
but it also you want to get better. Like, you just want to keep getting better.
There's a competitive nature.
There's that huge
yeah.
competitive piece to it. And in the tips, the first couple of tips was like how to train properly. And I was like, wow, this is really in depth. Like, for a first person shooter, at least for me, in Halo, I just jump in a game, get killed a bunch of times, jump in another game, get killed a bunch of times, but not as much,
Mhm.
jump in a game. And as you kind of
Yeah.
just trial by error, trial and error, get better. But in Rocket League, it was like, no, it looks like that's not the way to approach it.
That's
Which is, it's intriguing to me that such a simple concept can have that much replay value.
yeah, and they're rated best. What's the word I'm trying to think of? Best mechanics or whatever in a game, or like the
Mm,
gravity and everything. I guess mechanics is the right word. I guess I can't think of any other
yeah.
word, but the mechanics are just very accurate as far as I guess as accurate as it can be for flying through the air in a rocket powered car.
Yeah.
But
Well, and it's pretty serious. Like, it's pretty in depth. Again, on the tips and tricks, the guy had talked about, like, there's even a website. I don't know if it's still out there. It's like coaching. You can go and pay someone to coach you in Rocket League and get better. Like,
mhm.
that's crazy to me.
Yeah,
But that's how serious it
a
is.
lot of people spend time in training. Don't even go in and play the game at first. They'll just go into the training mode, and there's different like classes or um,
Mhm.
training techniques that you can do, and there's probably like a list of 20 different ones you can go through, and they're in novice and or beginner, medium, and hard. So you can progress yourself as you go, and then there's also a whole list of training exercises that other people make. Um, so for like aerials and
Mhm.
um, just goalkeeping and stuff like that, just to help you get better at different things. Flying through the air was probably one of the hardest things to get down in Rocket League. And as you're coming up in the ranks, because when you start off, they start you off low. They start you off with people that are ranked like you. You're either going to play
Mhm.
someone that's, the same level as you, or it's someone that was awesome and they're starting a new account and they're going to kill you. So, um, but for the most part, they put you with people that are in similar situations as far as skill level, and it gives you the ability to play against those people and progress yourself. And then as you get better, you start playing other people that are better, and then you start seeing people fly through the air, and you're like, "Holy crap, how do you do that?" And then eventually, you'll learn how to fly through the air. And I don't know, it's once you get up to I mean, I'm not a professional by any means. I just enjoy playing Rocket League. It's something I'm a
Mhm.
fan of. So I play it in any kind of spare time I have just to, escape everything else I have going on.
Yep.
Um, but it's up there. It goes from like what does it start out at? Bronze, and then it goes to silver, gold, platinum, diamond,
Platinum, I heard, yeah.
champion and grand champion. I'm
Wow.
in diamond like right now, so there's still champions and grand champions above me, and I see some of them play. That's probably when you watch that thing on YouTube, is most likely a champion or grand champion doing it, and they could probably do all
Yeah.
sorts of crazy stuff, you know?
Yeah, when he was a coach on the website that he plugged. So, which is the last thing I'm gonna say about this video. This guy's smart. He had this 62 tips and tricks thing, and in every segment, he had another more detailed tutorial on a specific piece of it, and he
Mm.
would link that video. And those videos had like 100,000 plus views on each video,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like he was just cycling people to his
Yeah,
own
yeah, yeah.
content, which is pretty crazy. But the fact that there's that much content that someone can create on Twitch or YouTube around one single game,
Yeah.
which is a very basic
Kind of
concept,
premise, but yeah.
is remarkable to me, and I can see the appeal for sure.
Yeah, well, if you think about it, it's a team game. So it's like, you know how you have like football teams, they get up and they practice their plays. They get up and they practice
Mhm.
what they're going to do to be better than the other team. And Rocket League
Right.
is very much along those lines. People getting in there and they have these plays they run. They do what they can to get around the other team and just to confuse them and make it to where the goal's open so they can score. Just like, you know, in any other sport. And they it's crazy what they do in Rocket League. They have like their own sports center. Like uh you can go watch like college teams play against each other. Like every college has a Rocket League team. Um
Wow.
every country has their own Rocket League tournaments and they broadcast that even on through the Xbox Live or PlayStation. You when you go into the game, it gives you the option to go up and watch the live stream if there's one on, and you can watch all these teams play each other.
Wow.
Um, it's pretty.
Do you ever find yourself watching the competitive leagues?
Oh yeah, definitely. If I'm like eating or something in between games or something, I'll definitely get on there and watch for a little while. They have it set up to where they kind of make you want to watch too because
Mm.
Mhm.
you get rewards. We haven't gotten into this yet, but like not only can you play the game, but you can customize your car and your goal explosion
Mm.
and the rocket trail and the you know, your paint job. It can be animated or not animated, your tires, like everything. You can customize all that. And you only get those items through playing the game. And then to watch the live stream, if you set it all up with your Twitch account and your Xbox Live account, you have to do a whole lot of things, but it knows when you're watching and then it gives you rewards for watching.
Hmm.
And you can only get those items from
Wow.
watching the live stream. So they give you incentives and things that make you want
Mm-hmm.
to get on there and watch that for sure.
Stuff that sucks you in more into their ecosystem.
Mhm.
uh, I mean, obviously, just hearing you talk about it, it definitely sounds like something that you are passionate about, you're knowledgeable about, and that you love. When was the first time you played or experienced? And what point did you like? Oh, I'm hooked. I'm into this.
Well, I went over to a friend's house just to hang out for a little while, and while we were there, he was like, "Hey man, you ever played this game?" And I was like, "What?" He's like, "It's called Rocket League." He's like, "We should get on and play it." And I was like, "Okay, cool." So I got on and I'd never seen it before, and I was, you know, like, "This is kinda cool." So I played a couple games with him, and then I ended up staying there for several hours playing Rocket League. Um, so I knew right then it was something for me, and I went home and I downloaded it, and, there's probably, you know, only maybe a couple days that I haven't played Rocket League since then because I've been out of town or something. I usually try to find at least an hour, in my day that I can get on and just, you know, mess around and escape everything else going on. I probably play it too much to tell you the truth. I should if I cut back on it, I probably get a lot of other things done.
Life is short.
This whole podcast is about things we probably should cut back on,
Yeah,
but choose
exactly.
not to.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Um, Go ahead.
those are the things that you know, that we need in our personal time in our own lives. So whether it be, you know, for me, Rocket League, like you said, for other people, Eminem, um, TikTok, you know, stuff like that. Everyone's
Yep.
got to have that
Yeah.
escape, something that they can look forward to outside of the mundane stuff that is life and other things they have going on. So,
Absolutely. And certainly I think there is we've talked about in the past, like we had someone on who talked about woodworking, that there is something to be said that hobbies, pastimes, fandoms, or whatever, a lot of them are um, they don't require our own action. We just consume content. But there is something to be said about these things that we can be fans of, or that, again, hobbies or passions that do require um, action and interaction. So, taking time to do a competitive thing, something that's so competitive that, it's considered a sport, and that there are competitive leagues and prizes, and probably people get very wealthy playing Rocket League. But there is something to be said about having even when you're trying to turn your brain off from the rest of the world, you're doing something that still engages your brain. I think that's really important, and maybe I'm just biased because I'm a fan of video games, and I'm just justifying it in my head. But that's what it seems like this is for you.
Yeah, it definitely is. This is it's my escape for sure, 100%. It just gives me something that that I know I'm going to enjoy every time. Most of the time, I'm just working if I'm not doing that, or music stuff, and that's definitely my other passion. I've been doing music since I was 16 years old. I picked up a guitar and started a punk rock band, and I've always enjoyed and loved music, and I'll never give that up. It'll always be something in my life, whether I play in the bands I'm in now, or if I'm just an old man sitting in my room 65, 70 years old writing metal songs, you know what I mean? I'll still be doing it.
That's awesome.
And that the one thing with the 100 Rules project we were talking about earlier is I write and record and do everything for that, from beginning to end, which is really cool. With Scream Out Loud and Brave New World, everyone's involved with it. That's what makes a band is everyone puts their influence in, and it comes out to this, this project that other people can enjoy. And with 100 Rules, yeah, I get it. I get control of everything, except for Hunter. You can't really control a 7-year-old.
Yeah,
He's pretty crazy to deal with.
but that's what makes it metal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, he's something else. I don't have kids of my own, so it's really cool to be able to hang out with a kid and enjoy that time, but then be able to give them back. You know what I'm saying? You gotta...
Yeah, that's awesome.
No, that is awesome. The only other thing that I wanted to kind of ask you about this is, so for me, and this specifically has to do with you being a musician, and then also having this passion. For me, music was my passion for a long time. Like I said, I was a touring musician. I was a music major in college, and I played with a lot of different groups, a lot of different musical styles, and had a lot of variance in it. But it became a job for me. But there are other passions and things like that I have. Let's take video games, for example, where I've never actually really kind of felt that pressure from it. What do you think, or do you think that there like a mental space that allows you to separate these things? Or, have you ever felt the weight of music like that? Or, I don't know if I'm really asking one question, but just like, how does one separate, when something is fun and when something is work? Because it can happen to both music and video games can become fun and work. People who throw their controllers definitely need to take a break.
Yeah,
I agree.
that was a shot at me because I said that coming into recording about playing video games.
Did you throw your controller lately?
Not lately. Once upon a time I was a controller thrower. For
You
sure.
needed a break. It became work for you at that point.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, yes, music definitely can wear on you. Because you're, like I said, you're not just dealing with you. It's not just you have to deal with. So when you put 5 guys with 5 different ideas and 5 different attitudes in a room or in a 15 passenger van, or anywhere,
I've been there.
there's always going
Those
to...
van trips are rough.
Yeah, there's always going to be, butting heads and stuff like that. And at times it can seem like it's not worth it. It can seem like, man, why am I even doing this if, I can't enjoy it right now, but it's those hard times and, dealing with things like that, and then getting to the end product which was what I enjoy, is being on stage, playing music that we've written, and just seeing other people enjoy the music that we helped write and put out, and having these people sing it back to you, and then getting messages and having conversations about what your music has meant to them and how it's helped them through rough times, or just made them feel happy, or whatever. To me, that's what music is about, and just seeing the joy that other people get out of the music that I've been involved in. is what keeps me going through the hard times, you know.
Hmm.
And those hard times will make you feel like it's work and that it's not worth it. And all I can say is, if the bad times outweigh the good times, and maybe find something else to do. But um, I don't know, man. It's just I can't get away from that feeling of playing music for people and writing music for people and other people enjoying the stuff I've been a part of.
For sure. Well, and I think a lot of what you're saying can be applied to competitive video games too. I mean,
Absolutely. Yep.
it's when
Especially a team sport
yeah,
team
team
like we're
sports
talking
games,
about.
or even again going back to Halo, that team aspect of it, that competitive, what most points is better.
Training is
Training,
practice.
practice.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say this, but I'll go ahead and say it. There was a time where I was a part of a I don't even know what you call it. I don't. It's not a troop or a group, a clan or something, whatever, of
You're part
players
of the clan?
on Halo.
That's
Not
on
the clan.
record.
No, don't. Okay, wow. Might. Well, let's cut that. Anyway, but no, it was a group on Halo. It was like a competitive group, and we
Mhm.
weren't professionals. We weren't getting paid money or anything, but it
Yeah.
was literally a group. And at that time, I was playing so much Halo to the point where I was in a match, and this random person chatted me through Xbox and was like, "Hey, we want you to be a part of our group. That was really awesome what you just did in that game." I mean, I just ran the table, and I was like, "Oh, that sounds awesome!" Like
Mhm.
I've years of my life playing that game. My cousin always being better than me, and he did try to go professional with it, and I never got that kind of recognition and that skill level. It's like, yeah, sure, this sounds fun, but then like 3 weeks into it, every single day they were meeting for practice for different types of things, different
Mhm.
practices.
Mhm.
Some of it was fun, some of it was
Scenarios and
different scenarios,
yeah.
different types of maps, different types of gameplay. And so there was it's like a scheduled out thing. And you had to, in order to be part of their group and have their label on you, you had to show up at least twice a week. And it was like, it became work. It was fun, but became it became work to a point where I was like, do I really want to keep doing this? Like I have other things in my life I should be about. And I'm sure there's that aspect of Rocket League, in terms of wanting to get better and be competitive and have fun, but then it becomes work when you're practicing
Yeah.
all the time,
Well,
you know.
well, like I said, I'm not a professional, and I don't really aim to be a professional in Rocket League. It's just something I really, really enjoy in my spare time. And but I totally get what you're saying when it comes to comparing that to what I was saying. But the cool thing about online video games is you don't really have a connection to those people. I mean, I
Right.
have several friends online, and I've had them for years and years. Never met them in person. You know, I might be a
Mhm.
friends with a couple of them on Facebook, but if someone is getting on your nerves and being super negative, it's just a lot easier to cut that tie than
Mhm.
if you're like physically, you know,
Yeah.
around them all the time. So like I've cut many of people out of my gaming experiences because it's just not worth it to because it's my
Mm.
positive time. That's my time to
Mhm.
let loose. That's my time to have fun. It's my time to get away from any kind of negativity I have in other things. So there's been multiple times I just like, I'm just not gonna play with that person anymore.
I completely agree with you saying. I think the ultimate lesson here is understanding where the boundaries
Yep.
are.
Hmm.
Balance.
Whatever it is, if something is intended to be fun, don't let it take over
Mhm.
the other spaces in your
Mhm.
brain. Don't let that negativity into your life. Like understanding where the guardrails are, and it may take work and some stress or some bad experiences to figure that out. But being able to craft an experience that is relaxing and does create um the positive feelings that you want or were looking after
Yep,
when doing it.
agreed. Rocket League is my positivity, my escape, my something I just love to do. When I don't have work, which everyone has to do, which can suck
Right.
sometimes. But and
Right.
then but before, I mean, work is number one, music is number two. Well, hold on. I'm
Rocket League's
prioriti
number 3.
I'm prioritizing wrong. Because we've just been talking about, what I do and stuff like that, but my girlfriend's number 1,
Mm,
work is number 2.
Good save.
yep.
Good save. Now
Yeah.
you can
I'll
share
cut
this.
it. I'll
You
cut
can
it.
share
So
this with her. Yeah.
she was always number 1.
Yeah.
My girlfriend is number 1, work is number 2, music is number 3, Rocket League is number 4-ish. Other things, always tend to, poke their head up, and I prioritize ahead of it. But Rocket League is just my fun time. It's my escape. It's what I love to do outside of everything else that I have to do. So, yeah.
One thing that we always talk about, and whether or not it's always comfortable or easy, is there's always room for improvement.
hmm
So, what are some maybe critiques or criticisms you have for, I don't know, Rocket League, or for fans of it, or just for fandom in general? Since you also kind of work in a music space, and fandom is obviously very an integral part of that culture.
So, my advice would be, and it's kind of cliche, but I would probably just keep enjoying it if you enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it at some point, or if you find the joy or the bad outweighing the good, or your fun in it, then it's probably time to let it go and find something else that's going to give you a little bit more joy. Um, Now I feel like that's just like something that you can learn or use in everything in life. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's a job that you have, or a hobby that you have, or something you're a fan of. Um, Even like people that like animes and stuff, if honestly, I got lost in my own words there. But TV shows in general, they can start off great and you can be a huge fan of them. But say you get to the 3rd or 4th season and it starts getting super lame, maybe find a different TV show to watch. It's along the same lines. If you enjoy it, keep doing it. If you don't, find something else to do.
Yeah, for sure. I think learning how to walk away from something is something we can all probably be better about.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or learning that that we don't always need to be what something is intended for. That you can love. I think TV movies are a great example of this. Um, we can all, like, for example, I'm a big fan of the show Lost. Lost has some rough seasons in it. I can admit that. The seasons I love, I really love, and I don't feel the need to defend those bad seasons, because I can just admit they're bad and just enjoy the parts that I enjoy.
Mhm.
We can all learn to kind of separate ourselves and from the negative side of things, and just accept what we like. I think Reagan and I are both big Star Wars fans, and this is one of the big problems with Star Wars fandom, is that every Star Wars fans think all of Star Wars needs to be for them. And that's just not true. There are parts that you can like and the parts you can hate. And you know what? Other people might love those parts. That's okay. Let them have that. We try to take probably too much ownership by what we're a fan of. And it, that just hurts us probably more than it helps us.
Mhm. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, and I think too, one thing that we're finding out about while doing this podcast is every fandom, every fan space has the extreme where it gets too much, too negative, too personal, too, you know, I don't want to say holier than thou, but my opinion is better than your opinion. And so, like we've been saying, knowing when to step back, or cut back, or just totally let it go, is a good thing. It's a healthy thing to have that self-awareness. It's okay that something you once loved, um, you
Doesn't
you don't anymore. Yeah, I think we too often we attach our personal identity to that thing.
Mhm.
If you know me, or you spend even 5 minutes around my desk at work, or any number of surface level conversations with me, it doesn't take very long to find out that, like Christian said, I love Star Wars. So people that know me, they know me by that. They tag me in memes
Mhm.
because of it. Um, it's okay if one day I say, "Oh, I just don't love Star Wars anymore, like I used to." That doesn't that doesn't mean that I'm ending myself or I'm a total, I've lost myself, because it no longer satisfies me or makes me happy. If it's nothing but negative, it's okay to walk away from it for sure, like we've been saying.
Mhm. Agreed.
The other thing it reminds me of is, again, I talk about being a musician and kind of like falling out of it. I stayed in it for a long time because of someone reignited that love for me. Like I thought it had waned and was
Mhm.
gone. And I was at a local concert and I saw a young musician and they just really like blew me away. And I went up to them. They were a drummer and I'm a drummer. And I went up to them and I was like, man, that was incredible. Like, you are one of the best young talents in this area I've seen in a long time. This was like 2009 ish. And he goes, he literally cried, like not like bawled, but like two tears. He's like, you have no idea what that means to me coming from you. He's like, I saw you play when I was 14 and thought, I want to be that guy someday.
Wow.
And like, I probably stuck it out for 3 more years off that one
Mhm.
experience.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because it just reignited everything I loved about music in that one interaction.
That's that
So
feeling.
yeah,
That
yeah, absolutely, man. Find the love, and if it's not there anymore, be okay with that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. 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 Yep.
Yep. Yep.
And so the other question we always ask is, what is the future? So, what's the future of Rocket League? Do you think it sticks around? Do you think we see more games kind of follow this pattern? I mean, certainly there is a market full of them, but what does the next 5 to 10 years for this look like?
Well, it's a sport. How long has football been around for?
Fair point.
How
Yep.
long has
That's good.
baseball been around for? Just it's a sport. It's not like there's 100 other battle royale games. Like if it was a shooting game and it was a battle royale, then I would probably say, it's probably gonna get overlooked and they're gonna make a better battle royale game. But as
Mhm.
far as Rocket League goes, it's a sport, and to create your own sport, to create your own game that it has that competitive feel, and that, like I said, the sport like feel, like baseball, basketball, football. I just don't know that they're going to make something else that stands out like that in the video game world that, I mean, is equally like a sport. I keep saying
Mhm.
the word sport, 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 but
Oh, it is. It's an esport.
yeah,
I mean, that's a
Yeah.
real thing.
yeah.
There's competitive esports and
Well, and this one actually is kind of based off of a sport, or
uh,
based really off a couple of sports, really.
right,
Mhm.
right.
So yeah, I think the longevity's there. Just like what we were talking about, some people are gonna get into it and really enjoy it and stick with it. Other people are gonna get into it and hate it because they can't keep up. I think I even mentioned to y'all before we got on the podcast and when we talked online, but I didn't even really like Rocket League so much the first like 10 games. It took several games for me to be like, "Oh,
Mhm.
this is it. I'm in." I and then but it's it can really put you down being in a game with a whole bunch of people that are kicking your ass. So like until you get
Mhm.
good at it, uh it's gonna,
Right.
Yeah.
it's not
There are
gonna
going to be
seem as fun. It's
frustrations.
not gonna seem as fun. So
Right. Right.
um
Yeah.
Right. Well, and to your point, that's why when I looked it up, I was like, "Ugh, I'm not downloading this. I'm gonna just spend an hour and a half getting frustrated and not have a good time." Because I've experienced that again. To go back to my Halo days, like, yeah, I experienced that hardcore. When I talked about being a controller thrower, it was in those early days of when I
Yeah.
really tried to give online play with Halo a shot, and then all of a sudden it just clicked. And I'm sure that's what that 10th game was for you. All of a sudden it
Hmm.
just clicked,
mhm.
and you were standing alone, having a little bit of fun, and just getting better and better.
Yep.
Yeah, I think one thing to know in the longevity you're talking about, it is so different on kind of these lower priced generation of free online
Hmm.
massive multiplayer games that we've kind of come into. It is so different than the other, like, Fortnite, Apex Legends, Warzone,
Yep.
because it is kind of like sports based. Like until you have like a Madden version of this or MLB The Show or whatever, it does kind of stand alone against everything else.
Yeah.
And I think that does play into the possible longevity that it has in this space.
Yeah, agreed. And I don't know if y'all dug this much into it, but Psyonix created it, but Epic Games bought it out. So
Oh,
that
well, that's why
happened.
it's so successful.
Yeah, that happened this past year when Epic Games took over. That's when it became free to play. It was, $30 when I bought it, $20 for a couple years leading up to when Epic Games made it free to play this past year, like Fortnite. And there, people, there's so many in-game buys that, people are spending tons of money to buy,
Yeah.
a rocket boost or a
Oh,
goal
yeah.
explosion.
Yeah, none of these games are actually free. Let's go ahead and throw that
Yeah.
out
No,
there.
well, yeah. No, I'm going to call him out right now. My wife's brother, Jason Wright, he's probably not listening to this, but I'll make sure he does so he hears this. He's a fool. He plays Fortnite, and I can't tell you how many times he comes to his mom, Nikki, love you. He comes and says, I need $20. I need $20. Like every day, over and over and over. Now he has a job, and he has probably spent, I would bet $2,000 he spent $5,000 in total in Fortnite. I'm not even doubting that. If you could go back and add up his transaction history, $99 in a week in a single weekend, multiple times, he spent over $5,000 on that game.
No doubt. It's a genius business model.
Epic figured it out. They
props to Epic.
Bought it, and then they said, "Hey, microtransactions, we're going to make this 10 times over."
But it works. It's insanely popular. Who am I to critique it?
Yeah,
make that crap free. I hate microtransactions.
Yeah, I don't either. I can't get behind it.
I will tell you that before Epic bought it out, I spent a lot more money in this game than I have since then. Now
that's good.
Now I spend the $10 for the Rocket Pass, which is kind of like like a season pass for Call of Duty, or they also have one for Fortnite. But that's pretty much all I do is I just spend the $10 for when the season comes out, and then I get the items for the season. I don't spend any of the extra money that I used to. They used to have crates that you could open up. You earn crates by playing,
crates,
and then you spend money on keys to open these crates. So I had 300 crates, and eventually I started buying keys and opening crates, and man, if we went back to my transactions, it'd probably be up there. You know what I'm saying?
But
that's not true. Judging you, Hunter. It's fine.
No, it's fine. Gonna make another amendment to my previous statement. Epic Games is awesome. They're a great company. Excellent company. Mike, if you're out there listening, love you, man. You've really created a great thing and been a part of a great team. So Epic Games is great. Not officially sponsored by Epic Games or anything, but just want to keep that
Reagan
out there.
has some history that he wants to clarify.
No, I'm not.
Not on here. I'm just saying you want to clarify your position because of
my
past
position
interactions.
Is that Epic is great, and we hope to one day have you on the show, man. Come on.
So here at the end, we always want to let the guest, pump up whatever they got going on. You got a, few music projects. Tell us what we can expect maybe in 2021 for them and where we can find and follow you on social media.
Yeah, definitely. Let me start out with a couple things pre-2021, and then I'll lead into that. If you get a chance, go check out Scream Out Loud. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Apple Music, Spotify, all that. Most everything is at Scream Out Loud FL. We put out a couple new songs last year. Who Turned Out the Lights was an original. Got pumped up on Spotify editorial playlist. We did really good. We put out a new cover song last year for Harry Styles, Watermelon Sugar. If you haven't checked that out yet, go give it a shot.
It's cool.
It's doing pretty well in plays. Then we put out another new single called Walk Away, which is an original. Didn't get so much push behind it. Didn't have enough money to put behind it, but it's still out there for y'all to listen to. Go check it out. I'm really happy with that song. It's probably one of my favorite ones of our new tracks that we have coming out. Now to move forward to 2021, for Scream Out Loud, we do have more tracks coming. There are more things coming for Scream Out Loud. We might not be playing any shows, but we're going to try to put out some new music, and eventually, we'll get back into playing shows again. With Brave New World, man, I can't even tell you how many things we have going on. We put out tons of new music last year. Put out a new music video for a song called Baby Teeth, which took off and got a lot of plays. We're killing it on Spotify. We have a new track. We haven't talked much about this, so this is kind of, semi-exclusive to y'all. We've mentioned it on our
Cool.
IGTV series, but we have a new track coming out January 15th. So keep a lookout for that. A lot of stuff coming behind it. It's going to have a music video shot by our friend Justin Bernardet, is out of California. None of us are in the music video, and if you go back and watch Brave New World, we do a lot of visual videos that don't include the band. We have actors and scenes and stuff. So make sure you go check out Baby Teeth for that, and then our new music video coming out January 15th. I can't tell you the name of it. I asked if I could. They said, no, don't tell them the name of it yet. We haven't released that. So January 15th is all you get for the new single for Brave New World. On top of that, we've been writing new songs. We have several new songs that we already recorded and waiting to get back from our producer. Several new songs that we've recorded ourselves that we're waiting to go to the studio to finish off. And yeah, just tons of new stuff with Brave New World, always active in that. Scream Out Loud, not so much. Everyone's got responsibilities, so we haven't done so much in that. Just look out for the new music. Brave New World is going to be at We Are Brave New World on pretty much every platform, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. When you're looking for our URLs, just .com/We Are Brave New World. 100 Rules. We put out our first track last year. I play Minecraft. Super fun. I love working with my nephew. He's so much fun. Hard to get to stand still. He's got a voice on him like a 26-year-old Matt from Bullet for My Valentine, just screaming. He's
Wow.
got a killer voice on him. Every time people hear it, they're just like, wait, that's a 6-year-old? He was 6. Now he's 7, but yeah, it's a 7-year-old screaming. And we have a new track already recorded for the spring /summer. It was too close in the winter when we finished it, so we haven't we didn't want to put it out because it's about swimming in the pool, and nobody swims in the pool in winter. So
No, not right now.
yeah, be looking out for a song about swimming in the pool sometime around spring, summer this year. We are working on another track right now. It's not as exclusive as like my other band, so I'll go ahead and tell you. The one that's coming out in the summer or spring is going to be called Cool in the Pool.
Cool.
Ooh, in the pool.
And then the other one we're working on right now is called Chicken Nuggets and Pizza.
I love it.
This is
I
great.
love it.
That's
I can't
awesome.
wait to check them out, man.
That's awesome.
I already have another idea for a song after all these. It's going to be called like Scream for Ice Cream or Ice Cream for Ice Cream.
Yeah.
Dude, I really hope. I fully support all your success in your other bands, and think it's cool how to watch the transition over the years I've known you,
Mhm.
and the growth. But man, I hope 100 Rules really takes off and
It's
becomes
the
like
one,
your
man.
$1 million deal.
Yeah.
Like that's so cool.
Yeah, it sucks that that's so far down on my priority list just because of like so many other things that are more important as far as like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
money and grown up stuff. But
Hey,
I
when
wish,
when that video goes viral, chicken nuggets and pizza,
yeah,
it's it. You're
Yeah.
done.
it makes me think of that video from like the Olsen twins way back in the day. It's like pizza every day. I want pizza. Anyways, I don't know if you've ever seen
No,
that. It's
No, I don't.
nope.
right.
You're alone on that one.
make
So
sure
we can find Hunter. Go ahead.
make sure you look that up on YouTube. Olsen twins pizza, and then like look up like the slowed down version of it too, because they like super slowed it down. It's so funny to watch.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, Hunter, we appreciate it, man. It's been fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Reagan, it's always good talking to you, man. We don't see each other
man.
enough. I really hope the family and
I know.
everyone's doing okay.
Doing good, man.
Thank you for listening to Fantastic People. Please rate and subscribe wherever you find your podcast, and follow us on social media. That's at Fantastic People Pod on Facebook, at fantastic_peoplepod on Instagram, and at fantasticpeople, no E, on Twitter. We'd like to say thank you to Alex Edmondson for our artwork. We hope to see you guys next time. Thanks for listening.